Well, hello again, brothers and sisters in Christ. Pastor Mike here. As you probably noticed, there wasn't really a midweek meditation last week. My week got out of hand fast. Most of you know, but it is what it is. A couple trips to the ER, not for me, but for some other folks and some other things. But we're back. We're doing pretty good, all things considered, pretty even keel. So midweek meditation is back. Yes, we are now looking forward to the fourth Sunday of Advent. This season of preparation is almost over. It's almost done. I'm kind of been enjoying these Advent Sundays and really meditating on, preparing for the good. I know that was kind of the first sermon for Sunday. The second was, bringing good out of the stumps, the dead places. In many ways, also last Sunday, I was hoping to lead up to this, is God bringing good news and preparing us through weird places, unlikely places. And this Sunday is the last one where we're going to look at Joseph. And Joseph also shows us God was preparing him for good. And there is another category, and we're going to get into that Sunday, of where we can look and see these things as not bad, not negative, but God is using these things and bringing good out of them, even if that traditionally is not where we would look. But one of the other texts is important, and that's why I wanted to look at for midweek meditation. It is this first lesson for this Sunday. It comes from, let me double check again, Old Testament, of course, but Isaiah. And the prophet, we get a lot of the prophet Isaiah in this Advent season, is talking to King Ahaz of Judah. And really the discussion there is the good Lord is calling him out. Not happy with him because he's in a sticky wicket. He's in a rough spot. He's worried about what's going to happen to the kingdom. And he chooses not to go to God and trust in God, but he goes to a foreign power and tries to work with them, the Assyrians, to get his way out of it. And the Assyrians are not going to help him. It's bad news bears. And the good Lord turns to him and says, you gotta put your trust in the right places first. And that is the interesting piece that I think we can often overlook. And it's good to pause for a midweek meditation on this. Is that Ahaz's biggest issue was out of his anxiety and his worry and his fear. He was trying to grasp control and even go a little bit wonky and out of bounds to get the situation where he wanted it to be. And that is not what the good Lord calls us to do, and that's not preparing for the good in many ways. Sometimes the preparing for good calls us to let go of that control and trust in God. He really messed up by going at those foreign powers. And this text is important because it happens a lot. If we're honest with ourselves, if we are honest in our confessions on Sunday morning and in general, hopefully doing devotions, we are very good at trying to reach out and grasp for things to help give us control and not put our primary trust in God. I mean, it's dangerous. And it's often interesting in the season to bring it up. It's like, but Pastor, how can we be doing this when we're so focused on Jesus and his birth? We're clearly, focused on him. But over and over again, we want to make Christmas in our image and have it meet a perfection that we want, that it has to be this way. Because even if we're focusing on, well, yeah, it's about Jesus here in the church, we can often get a little hyper focused on the oughts. It should be like this. It should happen like this. I know there can be often friction when young families have their first kid and they're trying to make sure the children are able to see everybody and keep every tradition alive and everything happens just right. And there's some moments where I think when, they're on the 27th, they just want to lay down and go to sleep. It's rough when we make Christmas a chore for our family, our friends, our loved ones. And I'm not saying, we shouldn't visit or have a nice meal and those sorts of things. But if the perfection of the meal, the perfection of the visits, the perfection of the gifts, the perfection of the decorations overcomes and becomes a burden, They're meant to be a tool to help us stay focused and grounded and guided in what we're supposed to do. If I don't have the perfect nativity in front of my house, and I don't have one, do I beat myself up? No. The decorations in my home, whether many or sparse, are hopefully to draw my eye to the Christ child, not my own self-righteousness. And that was the mistake of Ahaz. He was going to save his people. He can't. God can. That is both good news and bad news. Hopefully it is good news in setting you free from any of the perfection stuff, but it can be hard because we like it to be a certain way. Trust me, I like things a certain way, but sometimes it just doesn't go that way because God's got bigger and better plans, bigger and better hopes. And that is my great joy for this Christmas, that it's probably not going to go my way, but it will go God's way, which is always good. Well, brothers and sisters, hopefully this meditation is, as always, grist for the mill, a new lens. Maybe it puts little cracks in some of the weights that are holding us back and give a little freedom and wiggle room and breathing room and peace in this time as we await this wonderful counselor, mighty God, Prince of Peace. Blessings, brothers and sisters. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.